to meet all of you, and I'm very pleased to be able to be here. Sorry, I didn't prepare as well as Victoria, so I would just talk on top of my head, and so please bear with me. And I will start with the topic. The topic is why should we have a minority party in our legislative yuan? But I would like to slightly change this topic actually, because I don't think what we are asking for is a minority point of view. Maybe some of that are. So we are asking for a pluralist society, that's right. So we are respect like LGB rights, we are respect a lot of like indigenous people's rights. That's what we are fighting for. But that is not a minority point of view, and we have to make it majority point of view. That's the first thing. The other thing, what I was saying, why I say I want to change the topic, I would say we need new politics in our legislative yuan, not a minority party inside. What is new politics? I would lay out what I think in the end of the speech, but there will be something to do with what Victoria just said. Politics shouldn't be a dirty game. That was the main issue here. In Taiwan, people thinking about politics, they think that's something they can just use to say, oh, you are dirty, you do politics. The face and those things like everything touching politics, oh, I don't touch it because it's about politics. That was very, very wrong, because politics is something that really determines our life and affect everybody's family, your kids. So it cannot be a dirty game. And the politics we are asking for is a new one, which have to be something that really serves our people. That's what I truly believe and trying to push forward. From this topic, then I want to introduce a little bit about myself. My name is Wang Baoxuan. I have an English name called Shayna Wang, and I used this name in England for 7 years. So probably that was more well known if you speak my Chinese name, no one knows it. And I was teaching. I did my PhD in University of Essex, and I was taught there on global justice in my University of Essex, for undergraduate students for a year. And while I was doing that, I also went to Amnesty International to do an internship there. Also, I want to go into the field to do some work to feel like what I studied can really be kind of put forward. Because my thesis was writing on something on transitional justice, which is dealing with the issue of human rights violations under previous regime. So I was talking about justice, and I write a thesis on it, and I actually taught it in university. I want to try if my theory was really right. And so I went to Amnesty International trying to work a campaign for human rights. And because of my, I guess, language ability, so I was put forward in a team working on the human rights issue in China, and which I was mainly doing for the right to housing. So there was a lot of people in China, their house was being knocked down because there's a big development project the government was trying to put forward. So I was helping these people, and I was thinking about, yeah, right, that's what happened in China, because they don't have human rights, their government has problem. And so I was helping them, and while I was taught in university, and then, boom, one day, there was a house knocking down in Taiwan. There was a guy, not only one guy, actually two guys, one guy for that forced eviction case. His name is Mr. Zhang. I came back to Taiwan after 2 days, he actually died. So that was something I really, really hope I can actually help before, but I didn't. So while I was in Amnesty International doing some work helping Chinese people fighting for their right to housing, in my hometown, this house was knocked down by our government with actually our government was with a promise that our government did to those people that they wouldn't knock it down. They would never do it. So it was written down with down. Need your land, pretty much. That was the case. But they knocked it down. Why? Why would this thing actually happen in a democratic country? I saw it happen in China because that's China. They don't vote for their government, so they have no choice. Their government would just do something crazy. But we vote for our government, we choose our politician. why can't those politicians did this and they still there? And they don't even do anything now, still now. Even our judicial system actually say our government was wrong, and they actually lost the suit. But I pretty much didn't really see much have been done for this event. But anyway, that happened. And it actually shaped how I believe in democracy. And that therefore I actually quit my job and leave England. I have been there 7 years and came back to this country, my hometown. A lot of people say, you're crazy, why are you coming back? And that was also reflect something, how people think in Taiwan. It doesn't seem to have much future here, why are you coming back? And that's precisely why I'm back. I want to know if a democratic country really can have our politics serving our people's life. And so I come back to look for answer. For this reason, I go into the Taiwan Association for Human Rights, and I start to work for the right for housing, the same, for Taiwanese people. And for this reason, I go to Taoyuan, and I help 4 cases also touching the land issue, land justice, about we have different systems in order to take people's land, like 征收, the strongest one, or 市地重划, or 都市更新. Sorry, I'm not very sure about the English term in it, so I don't translate it myself. But anyway, different type of system that they might be able to take people's land and knocking down their house for different reasons. They say they are for public interest. But what I see is all these cases is a big problem in terms of the definition of public interest. It's not the interest of public, because what they are doing is they kind of become, the politics being controlled by a group who have privilege, who have power. And they know the ways those plans going on, and this plan will make the farms into places that you can build building. And so from farm to like for housing or for factory, there's a big gap between the price of land. And so if you know that early, you can come into the market early and buy a very, very cheap land. And once the big plan kind of circle this area out, then the price of the land will shoot up in a crazy way. And so they sell it. And so the people who know this inside information is those people who kind of trying to maintain their controlling power. And they gain interest, they gain advantage for themselves during this game. It's a game for them. And that's what I see in the local. So at the moment I start to realize what happened in our politics. The problem of our politics, it was being controlled by the same group of people, and they are trying to gain their own advantage by doing this land thing, by buying and selling land. That was just one example. And the worst thing is, it doesn't have any difference between two big party, two main party. KMT and DPP in the local, they don't have any difference on this thing. They are all trying to making money out of land, out of people's life. So that's what I see in the local. And so what made me eventually coming out and running for campaign for this election and trying to get a position for member of parliament is actually because the people I help in the local one day turned around and asked me. She said, okay, Shana, now you let me know all the people in my area, all these politicians are actually pretty much have dirty hands. They all have hands on our life, and they're all making money out of our suffering, actually. Who am I going to vote? The election is coming. I'm not going to vote for anyone because they don't deserve my vote. I'm just going to turn around, let them know I don't support them. And that thing kind of let me understand what's going on now. And I telling them, no, they won't fear you don't support them. They just fear you don't go and vote. That's right, that you don't care about politics. But they won't fear their power has been threatened. They won't hear people's voice if there is no good choice coming out and let them understand, oh, this is what people want. There's a new type of politics, there's a new politician which will actually care about what people's life is. So that was the turning point to let me understand it's not enough for us to stay to kind of revealing the information for people to know our politics, our politicians do not good enough. But it would be important for good people to come in and start to speaking things people need to know and let people have choice. And so for the final time, I want to use, I think people probably, you all know Bernie Sanders. He's now running for campaign for the state, the president in the United States. And the other day I saw an interview on him and asked him, so you look different. You look like different type of politician. Could you let us know why you look so different? What's the difference about you? He just said one sentence. He said, because I'm not coming into politics and thinking about maybe 30 years old I can become a senator, and maybe 40, 50 I want to become a president. I'm not coming to politics thinking about, calculating about my position, where it will be, how much power I can gain. I'm coming for politics only because of one simple thing. I give you a damn. That was what he said. I give you a damn. I give you a damn that it's outrageous there's people sleeping on the street in the United States of America. It's outrageous that African American kids, there's 51% of them unemployed. It's outrageous that the social welfare system in America and so on and so forth carry on going on. And that's what makes I'm a different politician. And I would say, that's precisely what I was talking about, a new politics that now Taiwan needs. And I will add on a lot of things after it. So now I would let people know, we are an alliance of Green Party and Social Democrat Party. Green Party, for the name and for people all know, it's caring about environment. And so about the problem of pollution, about how can we build our society sustainable. Because now we are just exploiting our natural resources and our human resources. That was not the way to go. We cannot carry on doing this forever. So that's what Green Party was trying to do. And we aligned with Social Democrat Party because we are asking for social justice. We are asking for good social welfare system. We are asking for a fair tax system in order to really make our society more like equal. Do I have any time or I run out of time? Couple of minutes. So in the end, I was promised to give the definition of new politics that I think Taiwan needs. I will just lay out 3 points. The first thing I think, that was precisely what I see before. In Taiwan, every politician come out for their own advantage. And the way they convince people to vote them is by giving them advantage. So the worst one is bribery. Okay, that was really bad. But now they become a little bit smarter. What they do, they say, we will give you this social welfare, that social welfare. We just keeping spending money on individual person using others' money. There was a type of policy bribery, I would say. They don't think about in the long term and to build a fair system or a just system. No, they don't do that. They're just trying to give more and give you more and give you more. See if where is their votes from. So that was the whole idea of they giving their own advantage and then let people to believe that only vote for the people who really give you advantage to yourself. To care about your own self-interest, don't care about public interest. So this is the first thing. We have to say goodbye to this politics that's only looking for your own self-interest, but go into the public interest to see how can we really build a just and fair society to let people have a good position to start on. This is the first point. The second one is, before in Taiwan, all our politics is having only one difference between two parties. That is the relation to China. Am I going to unite it with them, or am I going to independent from China? That was the only difference between the party before this line, Tongdu. I think we have to say goodbye to it. This is not to say I don't care about this issue, but to say in Taiwan now, in my generation, we don't care about this issue because we all want to independent. That was just simple answer like this. There's no point to be reunited with them. I have my own system, we are different from them, and we just want to know how can we stand on this island and keep living here together. So this line is not important anymore. We say goodbye to it. What we want to talk about is the line between left and right. And we are a left-wing party which is just born in Taiwan and have to carry on. Why is it just born now? Because of the threat of China, therefore all the left-wing books are banned. Those thought is not going to be really kind of blossom in the past. Therefore, this is a new line now. We need to draw the politics between left and right, and that left thinking start to let people understand there's more they can ask. They can believe again there's a possibility of having a right and just society. And the third line is my final line, which is we have to stop the short-term thinking, and which I think is the legacy from KMT. Because when the KMT came to Taiwan, they actually take this as a temporary base. They want to go back to China. So because this temporary thinking, so a lot of the development project they are doing was just temporary. They take land, they kind of pollute the environment, they kind of exploit the people here, because it was my short-term base. But that's not what I want. That's not what we want now. We born on this island, we live on this island, and we are going to continue just staying here. This is the only place we have. And Taiwan is not like the best place in the world, because it has typhoon, you have earthquake, it was having a lot of these different issues. We have so many mountains, Anyway, so mountain a lot. And so it's not a very safe and friendly environment for so many people living on this island. So we really need to think about long term and plan this place well in order to really be able to stand here alone. So say goodbye to self-interest, say goodbye to this unite or independent talking, and say goodbye to this short-term thinking. There was a new politics we need, and there was our party, the Alliance of Green and Social Democratic Party, trying to put forward to our people. Support us. Thank you.